Albert Reed Jr. He played the untrustworthy Alderman Fred C. Davis on Good Times, and in real life he was a law enforcement officer. He was also Grady on an episode of Sanford and Son. Cousin Grady, that is.
Hey, Grady! Good to see you, Gus. Grady, always shady.
Fred, old cabbage head. Give me 5 so I can stay alive.
He was born in my home state, Texas, in a small town called Greenville. He died in 1986 at the age of 68. Theodore Teddy Wilson. He played the slick, sweet Daddy Williams on Good Times. His wife was General Hospital actress Joan Pringle. He might best be known for his role on That's My Mama as Earl the Postman. He died in 1991. The cause of death was complications of a stroke. He was only 47, the youngest to die on this list. Moses Gunn. On Good Times, he was brought in as a love interest for Florida after the James character was killed off. But 2 years before that, he had a small role on The Jeffersons as Monk Davis, a man who was trying to blackmail George Jefferson. He died from complications of asthma in 1993 at the age of 64. Esther Roll was Florida Evans, the ever-prayerful and God-fearing wife and mother on Good Times. She was also Florida Evans on Maude before Good Times became a TV show. Her humor and quick wit were admired from the start, so much so that she was offered the spinoff, Good Times, in which she would portray a single mother. But she insisted on bringing along John Amos, who had always played her husband on Maude just 2 years before Good Times started. She grew up with her father in her home and didn't want to put out the message on TV that black fathers were not in their homes rearing their children. She was met with a lot of resistance from Norman Lear, who thought that a strong black father had no place in a comedy show. Well, she kept fighting and got her way. For a few seasons at least. And she should be commended for that. She died in 1998 from complications of diabetes, 9 days after her 78th birthday. Helen Martin. It's hard to say for which role she is best known. It would either be Wanda on Good Times or Pearl from 2 to 7. But, like Esther Roll, Helen Martin also made appearances on Maude before Good Times started airing. Her character's name was Stella. She died of a heart attack in 2000 at the age of 90. Mike Evans. He, along with Eric Monte, are the creators of Good Times. The two were also writers on the show. He is best known for his role as Lionel Jefferson, son of hothead businessman George Jefferson on All in the Family, then later their spinoff, The Jeffersons. Fun fact about his love interest on The Jeffersons, Berlinda Tolbert, they were born one day and 45 miles apart from each other in North Carolina. He was born on November 3rd, 1949 in Salisbury, and she was born on November 4th, 1949 in Charlotte. He died of throat cancer in 2006 at the age of 57. Alice Ghostley. She's probably best known for 2 TV roles. One before Good Times, one after. Before Good Times, she was Esmeralda and Naomi on Bewitched. After Good Times, she was Bernice Clifton on Designing Women. Just as she played 2 roles in Bewitched, she also played 2 roles in Good Times. In Season 4, she was Irma Austin. In Season 5, she was Hortense Dobbs in 2 episodes. After having a series of strokes in the early 2000s, she died from colon cancer in 2007 at the age of 84. Marilyn Coleman. On Good Times, she played Violet. Violet Bookman, that is, wife of the building super, Bookman aka Buffalo Butt, who was often the butt of several jokes, especially about his weight. She only appeared in 2 episodes. She was also Mrs. King, the mother of Eddie King Jr. in The 5 Heartbeats. She died in 2013 at the age of 79. Her cause of death was undisclosed. Ben Powers had a job that many men wanted in the 1970s. He played the love interest of Bernadette Stannis. Yes, he was Thelma's husband on Good Times when the series was on its last leg. He also played 2 different roles in 2 different years on Laverne and Shirley. In 1982, he played a character named Aaron. In 1983, Rick West. He died in 2015 due to liver cancer. He was 64. Janet Dubois played Willona, the sassy, sexy neighbor of the Evans family on Good Times. It is also very well known that she is the voice of the theme song of the Jeffersons. She also co-wrote the song with Jeff Barry. She was also a Jet magazine centerfold beauty in 1960. And thanks to her daughter, it was revealed that Jeanette Dubois' father is most likely legendary band leader Cab Calloway. That is what her daughter wrote on her death certificate. That story was covered by fellow social media personality Lailah Lynn Media. A couple of years before Good Times aired, she was on one episode of Sanford & Son as Juanita Grismore. She died of cardiac arrest on February 17, 2020. She did a very good job of keeping her age a mystery for the sake of her career, so I am not exactly sure of her age at the time of her death. Janet Dubois is not the only Good Times cast member who died in 2020. So did Raymond Allen on August 10th of that year. He is probably best known for his role as Ned the Wino on Good Times and his role on another 70s show, Sanford & Son, where he played Woodrow Anderson, aka Woody, Aunt Esther's feeble little husband. He also played Mr. Stone in one episode of What's Happening. He died after a battle with respiratory issues at the age of 91. 2020 was not a great year for Good Times actors. Unfortunately, there was a third death among the group when on October 12th, Conchata Ferrell died. She was on one 1977 episode, getting most of her screen time with Willona. She is likely best known for a role that she got decades later, from 2003 till 2015 as Berta, the wisecracking housekeeper on 2.5 Men. She died from complications following cardiac arrest at the age of 77. Johnny Brown was best known for his role as Nathan Bookman, aka Bookman, aka Buffalo Butt on Good Times. He also played a salesman on one episode of Maude. According to his daughter, Catherine Brown, one day at a doctor's appointment to get his pacemaker checked out, he went into cardiac arrest shortly after leaving. He was then taken to a hospital where he died at the age of 84 in 2022. In what other roles do you remember these talented actors and actresses? Let us know in the comments section. And how about Norman Lear and Bud Yorkin hiring so many of the actors for so many of their shows? I didn't tell the whole story, but there were many actors who appeared in at least 2 of these shows. All in the Family, Maude, Good Times, Sanford & Son, What's Happening, and The Jeffersons. I published a video that talks a little bit more about the behind-the-scenes dynamics on Good Times. And you can check out that video here. I will also leave a link to it in the description box. Here's a big shout out to our friends at the Maude Melanin, the online promotional site for over 100 businesses of Black and Brown ownership. Their shops feature clothing, jewelry, home decor, skin products, hair products, and products for your children and fur babies too. Maude Melanin supports this channel and they have something for you. Discount coupons for some of their merchants each month. Their link is below in the description box. Sign up and start receiving your discounts with these new brands today. This video has been brought to you by me. Well, my Patreon is a sponsor for this video. If you like these dirty scandals on my channel, then you'll love my Patreon, Ty's Too Hot Hot Mess History. It has all of the stuff that I can't talk about or show here because it's just too hot, too violent, too sexual, too graphic, too much. Come and join us there for the hot mess history. The link is in the description box.